So I wanted to know, Paul, you're new to the outfit. Do you guys compare who's got it worse on the set? Especially the new guys? Do you guys compare notes?
I think it's a photo finish, but I think that maybe maybe Chadwick, with the whole not being able to breathe business is.
You can't tell with Paul because he's British. It's hard to know exactly how excruciating. We should all be a bit more like Paul. That's all I can say. Last question.
I'm stealing that.
Could you guys talk a little bit about bringing Spider-Man into the mix? I mean, it was so flawlessly done. Didn't feel forced at all, and it was just one of the amazing aspects of the film. Can you guys talk about that?
Sure. Look, it was very important to all of us, all the filmmakers, the folks at Marvel, Kevin, my brother, myself, the writers. Look, we knew we wanted to tell a really complicated story between Captain America and Iron Man in this movie, a story that went to very difficult, dark places. We're big fans of balance in storytelling. We like really well-rounded movies, like movies that make us laugh and cry. So for us, it became very important to find a way to change the dynamics and modulate the tone in the movie by bringing in characters that didn't have the same emotional investment that all the Avengers had in the events that were unfolding, because they're very serious events, complicated events. So to bring in characters like Spider-Man, like Ant-Man into the movie who don't have that baggage, it gave us an opportunity as storytellers to sort of bring new colors into the film at a deep place in the movie. Lighter colors, more whimsical colors, and I think it just helped balance that big fight out that they all have with one another at the airport in a really nice way. We tried to find very organic ways that those characters found their ways into the movie, both of those characters, and it was just, I know Kevin can elaborate more on the decision. He was very critically central to making it happen. I don't know that a lot of people could have pulled off getting Spider-Man in this movie, except for Kevin Feige. So,
I think it was a good answer, right?
I want Kevin to walk back into the thunderous applause he deserves. That was tepid.
No.
I was really pissed off.
I can't get up.
Or he can just sit there and take it.
Hello. My question is for Dawn. After seeing the movie, I feel like everybody has new tricks and toys, and I feel like maybe War Machine hasn't gotten the upgrade that he deserves. So I wonder if he has any animosity towards Tony. who has
Thank God somebody finally laid it bare.
Because Tony has a lot of new suits since we first saw him compared to.
Yeah, I think we'll see. It's not over. Unless it is, because I haven't seen the movie. Do I live? Does War Machine live? That's your hubris. You'll see in the next one. Wait a minute. I think there are potentially more tricks up War Machine's sleeve. We'll see.
You guys have touched on it a little bit, but I think if you guys were to ask everybody in this audience what the most exciting sequence in this movie is, they would definitely say the airport sequence. I imagine it was one hell of a thing to put together, so I was just hoping you could talk a bit about just kind of the days that you were putting in production.
Well, I just think from my perspective, it's really interesting because it's not until we see usually the completed project that we know actually what all has gone on, Often it's these disparate, moments that we're trying to focus on, and we'll see previs, and we'll the Russos will give us a good explanation of what's happening. But it's not until you see it all together that it's like, wow. Yeah. It's really an amazing technological feat that it all works.
So just for the record, there's an airport sequence in this movie.
That's exactly right.
Looking forward.
Question for Kevin. Black Panther does such an amazing job, and this movie has a great role to play, and Chadwick Boseman, I think, was phenomenal in his performance. So at what point did you decide that Black Panther was going to be an essential part of this story as you guys were developing the script? And then what stood out when you were going through the process of casting that made you know that Chadwick was the right guy for the role of T'Challa?
It was relatively early on in the development process of the movie that Joe and Anthony and our screenwriters, Chris and Steve, thought it would be very valuable to have somebody, sort of in the way that Anthony was talking about Spidey and Ant-Man, people that weren't quite as invested. We wanted somebody who perhaps was invested, but didn't have allegiances to any one side, who was essentially in it for very personal reasons himself. We knew we wanted to make a Black Panther movie at some point, but at that time we weren't sure exactly when that would be. But as these discussions were going on and we thought, I think we're going to bring Black Panther into this movie, I'm not kidding when I say Chadwick was the only choice. You know, his performance in 42, his performance in Get On Up, how different those performances are. And my memory is we called him on the conference room speaker when we were developing the movie and got him while he was somewhere in Switzerland or something at a premiere for Get On Up. And he was in his car, either about to get out or had just gotten back in. And we said, have you ever heard of Black Panther? And he went, yes, yes. Why are you asking me that? And we said, do you want to play the part? And he was very excited. And it happened very, very quickly.
Pretty awesome.